hello, and welcome to the Self Checkout
Hello.
Show. It is your favorite Christian talk show, and we are glad to be back with you on another Monday night. It is Monday, March 18th. We are only 13 days away from ending this this month. Oh, it seemed like just last week I said Happy New Year.
I'm
Yep,
Okay,
telling you.
yep,
Yep.
yep.
and the first official day of spring is tomorrow. It starts
It
tomorrow.
is.
Yeah,
Is it tomorrow?
yeah.
It was the 20th.
No, it's
19th.
tomorrow. They said it on the
Oh,
news this morning.
wow.
Hey, Ma, how are
Well, they better heat
you?
it
Thank
up.
you for joining us. Yeah, tomorrow is the first day of spring. This year already is getting out of here. It's moving fast. And hey, as they say, time waits for no one. Time
Facts.
It
is
does not.
of look,
Facts.
you know what? Don't remind me. Because I'm going to tell y'all. See, I didn't get to watch no
Right.
news last night because I went to sleep.
I
And
mean,
I woke up this morning, went outside, get ready to go to work, and I was a little upset. Okay?
no,
With
I was
27
upset
degrees.
yesterday when we had to pull out those coats. I
Yeah. You had your big coat on yesterday.
had to have my big a coat. I was mad. Didn't
Yeah.
like it at
Yeah.
all.
So it's a little chilly this week. Okay? It's a
Chilly.
little chilly
Just a
this
little
week.
chilly.
It ain't gonna last long, y'all. Don't worry. Spring is tomorrow. Tomorrow is the first of spring. My
Hey,
brother is on here.
brother.
Hey, Matt, you like that background music, huh? Yeah, yeah. I figured you might let me bring it back a little bit for you. I figured you might like that. Yeah. Um, because you guys, ladies and gentlemen, if you did not know, what you are listening to in the background is my brother Matt, along with his band. They recorded some music, and I just decided to use it
Lucky.
because he won't sue me.
You went on ahead and
So,
snagged it and put it on here. Yes.
hey, he ain't gonna take me to court for playing this.
No. Mm-mm. And you won't
Yeah.
get those copyright notes up there and Facebook blocking us and muting us and everything.
That's right.
Man, they blocked me in Russia when I can't remember the last song I played. They blocked me in Russia. I said, oh, okay, that's all right, I'll mind.
Right.
Yeah.
Such is life.
That's right, Matt. Trouble don't last always, just like winter. But I'm ready for it to be over. Okay,
Over.
ready
Do
for
you
this
hear me?
cold to be over. We had a few snow flurries today.
We
What?
did. We even had them out here today. Yep.
Really?
Yeah, at work, it was snowing a little bit at work around
Yeah.
9 o'clock this morning. Yeah,
I
uh,
saw-
and we're supposed to get some more snow Thursday night, I believe, into Friday morning.
Snow? Like
You
it
know,
was
it was
gonna
a man-
stick?
Oh,
A man bought a shovel in Target last night, and his wife told him, "Now look, I hope you're not jinxing us."
well, that's what happened because we are definitely.
Oh,
They
God.
said maybe an inch or so.
Oh, please.
Oh no.
Yeah, but it's not.
She
gonna
just got to go out with a
stick 'cause
bang.
it's yeah, I know. Winter came back like, and one more thing,
And
right?
one more
But
thing.
wait a minute though. What's that groundhog thing? Like the groundhog, did he
Well, it's
he
6
didn't
weeks
see his
early.
shadow, right?
Groundhog,
Yeah, no, he did not see
his
his shadow, so it's supposed to be 6 weeks early.
But
Well, yeah.
somebody missed the memo, huh?
Winter
I
said,
think
"I'm
the
not
groundhog was
done."
drunk or something. Something happened. But yeah, we're supposed to get a little snow Thursday night, Friday morning.
You
but
have
we
brought
hope
me
that it
down. I just want you to know thank
passes.
you.
We yeah. We hope that it passes. All right,
Amen.
we
Let's start
live. We are
prayer.
live on the air, and we are glad to be here tonight. You guys, thank you for tuning in. Um, hey Daphne, glad to see
Hey
you as
Daphne.
always.
Hello.
Wherever you're viewing tonight, whether you're with us live or watching the replay via Facebook, Twitter, not X, Twitter, and YouTube, we appreciate you. Hey, listen, we are only 2 weeks away from the sharpening our swords classes. We're only 2 weeks away, 14 days away from those classes, and we do implore you to take at least one of those classes. To I have been saying to invest in yourself if you are a leader of any sort in the Lord's church. This one is not for the marketplace. This is just for the church. All right. We
Mhm.
implore you to take a class, whether it be we're doing classes on the spiritual gifts, whether it be the gift of wisdom, the gift of knowledge, the gift of miracles, the gift of faith, the gift of discerning of spirits. We implore you to take at least one of those classes. If you know it all, there's no need for you to take it because you know it all.
Mhm.
So if you do know it all and you don't plan on attending, will you be so kind to sponsor someone that would like to take the class and may not be able to financially? Now, let me say this to those of you who receive sponsorship, because I have to be very selective and understand, y'all, where I'm coming from with this. I have to be very selective about who receives sponsorship because people will say to me, "Oh, I want to attend. I don't have the money."
Mhm. So
And
true.
then the next weekend, I see you at Ruth Chris.
Ooh,
I'm gonna think you lied to me and thinking that you just didn't want to pay. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna be very, very selective about who attends these classes. Someone gave me $200 and said, "Let somebody come to your class."
That's
I
awesome.
s- that was
Hats off to
amazing.
that person.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's two people who will receive all 5 classes because
Oh, good.
somebody blessed this ministry and said, "Hey, bless somebody else." All right. So
Awesome.
we just want you guys to be integral. If you can afford it, pay for it. Support the ministry. Support me. You say you love me, support me. All right. I love you guys too. I support as much as I can. If I don't go, I do what the old folks used to call send go. My money is there if I'm not. Okay. I done bought t-shirts, books, records,
Yeah.
shoes, socks, popcorn, candy. Come on, y'all. Let's reciprocate and help us to meet our goal. I will tell you that we are not even halfway to the goal that we need to be met. So help us out with that. And reach out to me for more information if you need it. Follow us on Spotify. We do uh, upload the audio version of this uh, telecast. Telecast. Ooh, oh boy. Okay, this broadcast, this Facebook Live, this
Uh-huh.
YouTube Live,
Uh-huh.
we do upload the audio version of this on Spotify when we are done. Just search for the Self Checkout Show on Spotify and please subscribe to our YouTube channel and our TikTok at the Self Checkout Show. Now, let's chat a second about this TikTok because the House passed the bill that would ban TikTok. President Biden said if the Senate passes this bill, he would sign it. There's a possibility we could lose TikTok. And I'm
Let me
really
save
just
my
getting into it.
recipe.
I'm like, I need it.
I need it. I need
I
my
need
recipes.
some.
Let me save my stuff.
Listen,
I,
I need that. John said
So
I
let
need to
me
go
just
to the
ask, because I
farmer's
haven't really followed it as
George.
much. And for those, we see him. I thought you blocked him and Martise last
I,
week.
they cannot
I
be blocked. We discussed that. We've come to it's over. Okay.
Longhorn got John in a
So,
chokehold, okay?
so two things. One, I was back there today for lunch with two of my moms. Two of my parents took me for lunch today, so we had a great
Is
time.
that so?
I
Huh.
had salad though.
Moving
I
on.
did really
Moving
good.
on. Moving
I
on.
had
Moving on.
salad. I had
Moving on.
salad. So there. Second, what's going on with TikTok? I've seen that, it may be gone, but why? What's going on?
Because it
Um,
is based in China or Korea,
China.
where it's based
Hey,
at.
mama.
And the U.S. does not want any tides because they feel like it's a security issue.
They do. And
Mm.
this is not new, actually.
They didn't want TikTok here for the
They
beginning.
brought this
so-
up. That's true. A few years ago, this came up, and they're talking about security risks
Yeah.
to our country and
Mm.
impressionable aged children. It's a lot of stuff that's going along with that, but they want to ban TikTok from our country. Okay,
Wow.
and the House said, "Yeah, I agree," and they passed it. Now it is going to the desk of the Senate, and if the Senate passes it, Biden said he
And it's
would
gonna be
sign
gone.
it,
Bye bye.
and TikTok will be gone.
Would the
Okay,
app just completely disappear, or will I still have access to my recipes?
I'm not sure.
You better
But,
write them
we
all
gotta
down,
keep up
then.
with the
Let me
Hey,
news.
mama.
No,
You better
honey, I'm
put them
gonna
all
screenshot.
down.
I
I
can't be writing
don't
all that down.
know.
I'll be writing.
I don't
When is it
know.
gonna drop? Now when he gonna sign? I just need to know how much time I'm
We
working with.
gotta wait and see when it hits the Senate and what they are
Okay.
going to do
Oh,
with it. It
John says
wouldn't
it
be a
won't be a
ban on the
ban.
app.
Yeah.
It would
It'll
just
just have more
have more
restrictions.
restrictions. So then there we have it, Crystal. You'll still get your
So then the
recipes.
app will still be there. I'm sure they won't be restricting my recipes and my workouts. Okay, then. All right.
So you'll be all right.
I'll be all right. That's all
Did
I
our
need.
mugs ever come in? We need mugs.
Yeah, you know what? I was looking into some self checkout show mugs, and I
Because my
dropped the
apostles
ball.
got me this one.
I didn't pick them back. Of course they
Girl.
did. Fancy pants. Of course they did.
My apostles got me this one. Initially, I was drinking like this, and you couldn't see anything. I said, "Oh no, we gotta."
Please, girl. Please.
Daphne, what happened to you on TikTok? While we're waiting for that, I think. Oh,
Hater.
wait now.
Hater.
Oh,
He knows better.
Lord.
He
Now,
knows better.
John,
Here we go
John,
again.
When you're right, I'm gonna be with you. You can't come for her.
Come on, best friend. Let
I'll
them know.
protect you. Now we gotta try to find a little balance there.
Let them know, best friend. Let them know.
Wait a minute.
I don't have to.
Man.
I mean, listen, John Stennis is always interfering in one of our business. Okay,
Always.
but we love him.
He is the little brother
We love him.
you always never thought you ever wanted. And I
He
know
is the
that really
little-
didn't make any sense.
He is the
But,
little brother that could.
I think I
No.
got it. I think I kind of understood what you were saying.
right, he's just that little brother.
Yeah, we love him.
We
Yes, we
love
do.
him. The Lord's
That's all
grace
I'll
is
say
sufficient.
about that.
Yeah,
you're right.
His
See how
grace
you're
Yeah.
right.
is sufficient.
See.
That's all I got.
That's all we
That's all I
got.
got, Chris.
John, I love you. I love you, honey. Through the grace.
Oh boy.
I'm here for you.
And another
Yes.
part of us, an extended part of us, the show, our friend today is Mrs. Tammy Joseph. Today is her birthday. Happy birthday,
Is
she on
Tammy.
here? She's not on here, is
No,
she?
she's not on. I'm sure she's probably somewhere celebrating. So
Yes.
Hey, Tabitha, Tabby.
I met her last night, like face to face. I met Tabitha Tabby.
Really?
She did. Yep. She
She is
introduced
an
herself to me
amazing
last night.
person.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
well. The birthday
There she
girl
is, the
is
birthday girl.
here.
Who's the
Happy
pretty girl?
birthday,
Boy, you spoke her up. Here we
I
go.
did. I was giving you your birthday shout out, and here she comes. Welcome, my girl, and happy birthday to you. We love you so much, and we hope that you have really enjoyed your birthday today and whatever
Yes.
else you're going to do for your birthday.
Happy Happy birthday, little
Give me a
sis.
call. Having dinner, give me a call.
Look
All
at
right,
mom.
Mama says she loves. Oh gosh, she
We
loves her
know.
baby boy.
We know, Mama. We know. Now
Yeah.
type I
Let's
love
remove
Nancy.
that comment.
Go ahead, Mama. I love
What you wanted to
Nancy.
do?
Put that in. I
Oh,
love Nancy. Put that in there.
oh, okay. Oh, she said, let's make it. Oh, she ready. Okay, we're
Spicy.
gonna make it
You
spicy.
want to make it
We can make it
spicy?
spicy.
We're gonna make it spicy, and in that somebody might get their feelings a little hurt tonight, but
Oh
it's all in
goodness.
love, and because we want you to live the best life you can live, and in that, in order to do that, sometimes you gotta put folks in their places. And tonight, part 3 of our series, Before We Say I Do, we want to talk about family interference.
Whew.
How far is too far? How
Everybody
far?
share.
Look
Share,
this
share,
up.
share.
Okay. Now, are we done with that? All right.
Oh.
Now, here's what I need you guys to do right now because we need our viewership up where it always is. I need everybody right now to share this show. All right. And we're going to get
Yes.
into our discussion. Please, please, please share, share, share. And when you do, please put in the comments, I shared. Put it in the comments. All right. So, family interference. How far is too far? And typically, well, we cannot get through this talk tonight without saying in-laws because when you are married, you have both sides, right?
Mhm.
His side and her side. Thank you, Mama. We appreciate that. You have his side and her side. Thank you, Daphne. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Um, and the Bible says that um, for this cause shall a man leave his mother and father and
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
cleave to his wife, and the two
Shall
become one.
become.
One.
Yes.
Okay. So at that point, at that juncture in your life, when you jump through, when you woman take on his last name, when you man take her to be your wife, dare I say that your parents are no longer number one in your life.
Correct.
Correct.
Okay, let's start right there because
Correct.
when you say I do, your spouse becomes your number one.
True.
As much as you love your parent, they are no longer priority in your life. They are secondary. Your spouse becomes primary. Am I saying anything wrong so far?
Nope.
I think I'm all right. All right. So now we have this thing where, and we're gonna talk about. I'm gonna try to move through this kind of swiftly because we have a lot to get through. Deborah, good evening. Glad you could join us. Um, any input into a marriage or relationship is too much. Well, we want to take a look at that because I believe that there is a such thing. I'm making this up, but
Uh,
I'll explain. I believe that there's a such thing as appropriate interference.
I agree.
Okay. And then there is inappropriate interference.
I agree.
Appropriate being if your spouse is misusing you or abusing you and your family steps in. That's appropriate
Mm-hmm.
interference because they don't want you to get your head beat on,
That's right.
okay.
That's
right?
right.
So
That's right.
it's okay for your
That's right.
parents or your siblings or whatever to step in at that point If
Mhm.
you are being abused physically, mentally, verbally, it's okay. It's appropriate for them to
Mhm.
step in. Um, so inappropriate interference is really what we want to lay our hat tonight because leave and cleave, we said, is what you're supposed to do. But sometimes parents are too intrusive in their children's marriage. I don't want to say relationship. I'm specifically saying marriage. Um, Dr. Nancy, you have two that are engaged to be married next year and the year after. Is that right?
Correct.
They are going to be married. Um, what is your take on appropriate interference?
I would say appropriate interference would be, for example, even while you were speaking, I thought about this. If you ask for money, when you start
Okay.
asking your parents for money, they have a right to know what do you need their money for and when that money is going to be returned. So that's huge as far as appropriate. Outside of
Okay.
that, I can't really say when I would think that it would be appropriate for a parent to necessarily involve themselves. Like you said, abuse, if there's some concern about abuse or anything, health related. And even with that, even with health related, there are some boundaries even there because we know that, again, the spouse has the first say so. So we even have to be careful with that. There are also times, well, that's inappropriate. So I'm not going to even add that. I was just going to dip off, but I'm not going to dip off. I'll just follow along with you. So those would be the times that I
Okay.
would say would be appropriate.
Crystal, what you got? You agree with that? I agree.
I 100% agree. I think that the only time that it's appropriate is when you're invited. Once they once they put their hand out and say, this is what I need from you, or I need to talk to you about something. Once you involve me, then you what I don't understand. I mean, I can give my advice. I'm not trying to come into the relationship. I'm not trying to break you up. But once you ask for my advice, I'm going to give you that. And
And
what
see,
you do
that's where
with
the
it is what
gray
you do
line
with it.
starts kind of going. And now we're going to
Yeah,
kind
it
of get
gets a little
into and say
blurred
that
right
too.
there.
That's why I was like, I'm gonna hold it and not do, because
What you do
like
with it
We're
is
gonna
what you
get
do
to
with it.
that.
yeah,
We're
I'm not
gonna
gonna
yeah,
get
push
to
you to
that.
say, well, you asked me for my advice, and this is what I think you should do. No, 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 no.
yeah, yeah,
This is you asked me a
Yeah,
question. This is my answer. What you
yeah,
do with it is what you do with it.
that's the part that I want to get to. We're gonna get
yeah.
to eventually, but right now, getting into this, I want to give you four reasons. There are actually way more, but it's four that I've chosen from this article that I read that I want to present to you guys tonight. Four reasons that your family interferes with your marriage. And before I do that, Mom said, "You're absolutely right. We parents need to allow our children to wait. We need to allow our children
Let
to
our
let our
children live.
children live their lives unless it comes
Mhm.
to domestic abuse. Then all bets are off."
Yes,
Couldn't agree with that more.
yes, yes.
Um, so the first reason that I want to point out that family members interfere in your marriage is separation, and some call it separation anxiety. Okay.
You're saying that it's okay for your parents to interfere during separation?
Well,
Or don't.
this is what I'm saying. Some parents have a great deal of trouble separating from their children,
Oh, you mean
and as a
separation of the parent and the child?
right, right, right.
Okay.
As a result, excuse me, as a result, they may refuse to let go and allow
Okay.
their children, right, to live their own life. And the article says that the closer or the tighter that the bond is between the parent and the adult child, the tougher it may be to let go. Now, parents though, because we can't put it all on the parents. Parents are not to blame by themselves because sometimes it's not the parent. Sometimes
That's
it's
right.
the adult child
That's right.
that
That's right.
is so attached that they don't want to let their mama or daddy go.
And they pull them
So
in. Yeah.
and they pull them in. That's
Hmm.
exactly right. So you got to also, you know, not just the parent. I feel like the child also needs to, you know, consider that. Am I
Mhm.
doing a detriment to my
Yeah.
own marriage because I do not want to separate from my
Yeah.
folks?
Yeah.
Let me hear what you
True.
got to say
True.
about that, Crystal.
That's so very true. I would say that's so very
Yeah,
true
yeah, I think
because
it is.
a lot of times, like you said, some of us grew up very close to our parents, and we have a habit of telling our parents what's going on or what's happening or our frustrations or what we're angry about. And that's pulling our parents in because as parents, we don't ever want to see our children hurt. We don't want to see them upset, right? We don't want to see them angry.
Mhm.
And so immediately when we hear that, now we're responding to that. So you've given me an invitation. So now I'm trying to, so again, there's a thin line even with that because as a parent, you've got to be able to even maybe at times navigate that and say, okay, I understand what you told me, but that comes with some maturity, right? That comes with some wisdom to be able to say that, like Crystal was saying earlier about the advice or the opinions. This is what I have to say. However, that's your husband, that's your wife. You need to go back home and handle that. Now, not all parents can do that because, again, they can't see past that. It's just, okay, well, you can come over here and stay
Oh
here.
no.
Forget that. You can't do that. So it can become tedious. But yeah, I do understand, like you're saying, separation anxiety on both sides because the children can pull the parents in, just as sometimes the parents can come in uninvited as well.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Mhm. Mhm.
Tammy
Hmm.
said if the parent raised them to be dependent, the kid would absolutely still have that separation anxiety.
That's true. If
To
they're
a different
dependent,
level, though.
they don't have any independence. Yep.
Well,
Okay,
it's a different level. You're not
okay.
100 dependent on your parent
Right.
because that's not what I was raised to do. Then there may be a couple things that I lean back on you for. Hey, I'm a little lost in this situation, but eventually they'll stand on their own 2 feet.
Hmm.
Now, that's a different thing. I like that you said that. Um, you're, I feel like your parents, regardless as to how old you are, your parents are supposed to be there to give you that motherly, fatherly wisdom, that advice.
Hmm.
Say, hey, mom, dad, I'm I got a question about this. So I need a little help with this. Blah blah blah. Whatever. There's absolutely nothing wrong with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But this comment right here, that adult child that keeps involving their parents
It's
is
a
a
passive
path to
disaster.
disaster
Hmm.
because your parent is no longer, I said it a few minutes ago, your parent is no longer your number one.
Yeah.
And I'm getting ahead of myself, and I'll probably
Yeah.
repeat
And
this
that's
later.
why I keep pulling back because you're right. We are. Yeah.
I know it's like, man, you you might want to take a look if you keep overly involving them
Hmm.
in your marriage. Have you
Hmm.
stopped to consider what your spouse feels about
Hmm. Hmm. Because 9 times out of 10, you're gonna say, "Well, I was talking to my mom, or I was talking to my dad, and my mom said, or my dad said." And again, yeah, overly involving them, always going to them, always asking them, always needing them, always leaning on them. That's too much.
You
Yep.
should have stayed
when you
single,
don't
darling.
consult your spouse first?
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
You asking your mom and your daddy everything. You ain't ask me nothing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
even if you consult your spouse, you really shouldn't be going to ask mom and daddy anything because you and him have already made the decision. Now
Yeah.
you
Unless there was, I agree with that. Unless there was a like, you know what? I'm not really sure. Maybe we
Yeah.
should talk to
Right.
our parents,
Right.
type of
Right.
thing,
Right.
right?
Right. Right.
Um,
And then when you
that
start
being said,
involving them like that, let's just say you all have a misunderstanding, you're involving your parents, you'll forgive. And that little cliche or that mama said, daddy said, that's so true. You'll forgive way faster than your parents will forgive
because
because
I'm not.
the
Crystal.
parents are gonna still side eye you, and now you gotta try to figure out how to iron this wrinkle back
Yep.
out again
Yep.
because you want them all to get along, but you
But
forgot
see,
you told mom and dad what was going on.
that's the thing about it. When you overly involve
Yeah,
other
yeah,
people in
yeah,
your relationship,
You
yeah.
cannot do it.
Crystal said it a bit earlier. If you invite me in,
I'm coming through the door. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know my
So if
limits,
this
of
is not,
course, but you got parents that don't know the limits.
Right.
You know what I mean? Every
yeah,
parent is not, they don't know the limit. Okay, I think they got it solved. Let me go on back.
Yeah.
Some
yeah,
parents, they
yeah,
want to keep reiterating. Then you're mentioning things in front of the spouse, and these are personal things that we talked about, and you told your mama or you told your daddy. Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
can't,
Good
can't do
evening,
that.
Stella. Thank you
Hey,
for joining us
Stella.
tonight, as always. Daphne said marriage is like a binding contract. It's a business, woman.
It is a
It
business,
is a
100%.
business. Okay?
Everything
A
about it.
binding
Everything
contract.
about
You
Everybody
are
it.
got to
absolutely
play their
right.
role. Yeah,
Everything about it.
You are absolutely right. It's a binding contract. The
it
spouses have
is.
a role to
Mm-hmm.
play in the marriage. If you cannot play the role completely, don't involve your parents if you are not ready for marriage. Let me uh, double down on that and rewind a little bit. If you're not ready, don't get married.
That's right.
Let's
Because
start
there's
there.
preliminaries. There's preliminaries before you sign a contract.
Absolutely.
Clear them up.
Absolutely. Don't take your tail down to that altar,
Please
Clay,
don't do it.
and you know you're not ready to
Can I
get
just?
married.
I see us going the long road. Why don't you list all four of these things so we can just go and handle all of them at
All
one
right.
time?
I'm with you.
Like
Let's
I
do
said,
that. Just a
we're going to touch
second.
all four of
Hold
them
on. I
anyway.
see something about Longhorn. Hold on. I just came. You
Okay,
know
now
what?
you get distracted.
Bye.
See, you're right. Now we got to add tab to the block list. Now we got to add tab.
Right. Hey, Tabby, love you. Thank you for being with
Hey,
us. Hey,
little
Devin, my
brother.
friend. So glad you're here with us. All right. So the first one, and we can just pack this all together because I'm gonna give you some more stuff after this. The first four reasons that your family interfere with your marriage. Number one is separation. Number two
Two.
Mhm.
is a big one, entitlement.
Oh, that was a heavy one.
That's a big one right there.
That's a
Number
heavy one.
three, competition.
Oh.
Mhm.
And number four, helplessness.
Mm. Yeah.
This
All
one
of them.
right
Okay.
here,
Those are heavy
I mean,
hitters.
take your pick.
Those are all
Take
heavy
your pick.
hitters.
So heavy. Entitlement. And
Baby, you
that's
don't,
why they
just
keep
because you her
interfering.
mama.
Huh?
That entitlement is heavy with mothers and sons. That entitlement is very heavy there. Women have it
You think
too,
it's bigger
but
on the son.
I think it's heavy there. It is.
Okay.
That's my
I think
son.
it's heavy there.
Honey,
It's
that's
heavy
my son,
with the
especially if
son.
she's a single mother. Because he been the daddy over here for I don't know how long. Now he finna marry
Mm-hmm.
you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Because that son has
Ah,
put shoes that they were never supposed to
that was
feel anyway.
good.
Yeah. That's so
That was
true.
good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm,
That's true.
mhm.
Natalie says, thank you for joining us, Natalie. She
Hey,
says you
Nat.
have to be
Hey, Nat.
careful with involving parents, also because just because your parents did it or handled it okay a certain way doesn't
Right.
mean it was right. We may have been taught certain things in marriages that we need to unlearn from different advice from our parents and other people. Just my opinion. So
That's
you have
true.
a good
That is
opinion
true.
there. I
That's
totally
true.
agree with that.
Yeah.
I believe that so many parents across this world feel that sense of entitlement because that's my son.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Or my
my
daughter.
daughter.
Mhm,
Mm-hmm.
Or
mhm.
my right. But I'm trying to tell you, adult parents that have adult married children, I do understand what you're saying. I hear you. That is your adult child, but that's that person's spouse.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's
Which
right.
means, and I'm gonna say it again, mama, daddy, I'm sorry. I know you gave birth to them, but you are no longer number one in their lives.
So true. So true.
And you need to sometime drop that sense of entitlement and take
Yeah.
a step back
Back. Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't only rest with mama and
because
daddy. It carries on to siblings. Sisters feel entitlement over their brothers, just as
True.
brothers feel
that's
entitlement over
true.
their
That's
sisters.
absolutely right.
Yeah.
That's
And if you
absolutely
didn't have a
right.
good parent, if you didn't
Somebody,
have a good parent-child relationship, then who's your confidant? Your sibling.
for
Yeah.
sure, for sure, I
Yeah.
totally agree with that. Tammy said somebody's in-law felt entitled to have keys to their home just because that's my son. Ugh.
That doesn't
I'm
mean
not
anything.
I'm
You're
not
not
gonna
paying
touch
bills
that one.
there.
You're not paying bills.
You're not paying bills there. You know,
Lots of change.
I'm not against that though. I'm not
but that's
against.
not. But it has to be agreed upon. You know, the parent can't
Oh,
demand.
for sure.
Yeah, the parent can't demand a set of keys because that's my son's house or that's
My
my
parents
daughter's
had
house.
keys.
No,
You know, like your parents
the
have
two
keys.
that are
for-
married should
Yeah.
say, okay, you know, we're going to give this spare key or we're going to, you know, give this information, the code to the house to my mom and or your mom or to this person, that person. If it's not
Yeah.
agreed upon here, it doesn't go there. And you don't
I
run
agree
around
with
and do
that.
it anyway because it was said no over here. No. So
And I
parents are
do feel
that's
that
entitlement right there.
I do feel that there should be an agreement on things like that because anything could
Definitely.
happen.
Definitely.
Anything
There
could
should definitely
happen.
be an agreement.
And
Yeah, definitely.
someone may need access to your house.
Definitely. Definitely.
So
But
I
doesn't
think
mean it has to be a
but it
parent.
should.
It could be a
Oh,
sibling. It can
for
be
sure.
yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it needs to be agreed upon. I'm
Yeah,
don't you just go
definitely.
and say, "Mama, here go a key to my house,"
I
and
did.
your husband might want to. I'm just, for example, might want decide to take off work one day, and he chilling on the couch in his underwear, and in the door come your mama, and he ain't know she had a key, and he half naked.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a problem. That's gonna present a problem in the marriage when mama leaves. But
Definitely.
first of all, you finna walk right back out that door because I didn't know you was coming. Number one. Secondly, I didn't know you had a key to my house. This is my house.
Yep. Yep.
Okay,
Yep. Yep.
we got a problem.
Yep.
Got a problem.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, let's get these comments. Some people can stop themselves from going to divorce court because before they get there. Learn what marriage is first. Are you wife material? Or does he have the potential to have that will to lead? Agreed.
Yeah.
Natalie says, for example, my younger daughter is engaged to be married. She
Oh,
didn't make a
congrats.
fuss. She didn't want to post. Congratulations to your daughter.
Well, you sure feeling it now.
She wanted to keep her relationship private because for her, how she enters, how she
It's how she wants to
it's
continue.
how it will
Yeah.
continue. And I had to respect all of that, even when I wanted to shout to the world that someone loved her the way she needs to be loved. Their decision, although I disagree, I must know my place, even as mom. Thank you,
True.
Natalie, for
True.
respecting your daughter's wishes. And I'm
True.
sure she appreciates that. It's hers to tell,
Yeah. Yeah.
not yours.
Not
So
you.
yes,
Yeah.
I totally agree with that, and you are to be applauded for that. Tammy said, "Heck no," because then they feel like they can come and go as they please. No, I might be walking around in my birthday suit.
And that was my first thought. Yep. Listen, same.
Yeah,
You come up
yeah.
in here, you're gonna get a good old surprise.
That is a fact.
Mama said, "I'm so overprotective of my son." But if whenever he chooses to take on a mate, I got him without no interference for real from me.
Yeah.
Yeah. You talking about me getting married again? Nah, not gonna happen. All right.
She said
So you
you.
ain't gotta worry about that, mama. All right. Moving on.
Mm.
Entitlement. And let's I want to skip over to that last one.
Helpless.
Helpless.
Competition or helplessness.
We can hit that one too, but I really want to talk about this helplessness thing because now I'm questioning if you are really in that mode. I want to know why you got married in the first place if you're that helpless. See, grown folks, it's a lot of grown folks, coach, that's still attached to that umbilical cord
Of course.
and can't do nothing without mama and daddy.
Mm-hmm.
And so all of these kind of tie into each other, Dr. Nancy, because that feeling of I can't do nothing without them gives them, and it
An open
causes them
invitation.
to feel entitled,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Because they know
helplessness
you
can
can't
reach.
make it without them.
Helplessness can be that the parent that you were attached to has now gone on. They've taken up their
That's
cross and they're
true.
gone.
That could be that
Now you're
also.
linking onto someone else who has the same role that maybe your parent had. So you're just going to continue to cycle.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Um, the more helpless and dysfunctional grown
Mm-hmm.
children act,
Mm-hmm.
the more likely the parents or family will feel the need to come to your rescue.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And I think too,
This is
a lot
not
of times
wise.
this is why good counsel is needed prior to the vows.
Yes.
So many people have gotten married and said those vows without good counsel. We've
Yeah.
got to start seeking. That's one of the reasons why I'm not an advocate for like courtroom marriages, because you can go to the court, the judge will marry you. He don't really care what's happening, or she don't really
Mhm.
care what's going to happen in the days ahead. But I would believe that if you're getting solid counsel, good counsel from a man or a woman of God, especially as it relates to your marriage, that you're going to get solid information, good building blocks, tools to use, things to put up boundaries, parameters, buffers, so that you'll know how to handle things in the days ahead. It's really, really important that people are equipped, especially now, our young people, that they're equipped so that their marriages don't necessarily have to encounter these things that we're speaking of, right? We want them to have healthy marriages and give them a fighting chance. The marriage is already hard on its own, but when we have to deal with stuff like entitlement and helplessness and competition and separation, that makes it 10 times harder for them to be able to be married and maintain that marriage. So again, and parents, parents of old, it's hard, and children, young people have to be able to stand up and say, you know what, no, this is what it's going to be.
That part.
Yep.
Tammy says helplessness from a parent can be very manipulative. Quote,
Yeah.
"Oh son, I need you. Come help your
Uh-huh.
mama do this, do that. Cut the crap, ma'am."
Yeah.
Tell me, what is your problem tonight?
It's true. Yeah, that man will be
No,
over
but
there
that's
his
true,
whole
though.
weekend. All his days off will be over
Yeah.
at his mama house.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so
That
true.
is
It's so
true.
true.
Some parents have too much nurturing to their children to the point where they can't stand on their own without them. And I think, you know, I think that it goes both ways, because we're talking about interference, but it's a it's a two-way street, because you have some overbearing parents who have just decided that this is what it is. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna be in your business, period, whether you like it or
Mm-hmm.
not.
Ooh, God,
And
Jesus.
then you have the child who feels that I have to involve my parents or my sister or my whoever in everything that goes on in my house. I'm telling you, that is a recipe for disaster.
It really is. It really is. And the parent that wants to be involved to that degree, or that feels like they're going to be involved, if the two that are married agree and they keep the business to themselves, that parent, it's going to die. If you don't feed it, it's going to die.
Yeah.
If you don't feed it, it's going to die. And so I
No,
even
let's
was
start right there. Let's
even
start
with
right
Tammy's
there.
even with
Keep
Tammy's
it
comment
to
about help.
yourself.
From a parent that's very manipulative. Oh, son, I need you. Okay. So you may go the first time, maybe the first 2-3 times, but after a while, it's up to that son to say, all right, mom, look, Crystal has something going on today. I've got to do this. I got to do that. I can't come to that right now, or I can't do that right now. I'll have to do that later. So again, it's going to be up to the two that are married to have everyone on the outside honor what they have. And when we see that, or when those people see that, then they only have one choice. You gonna either get with it or get left.
Go away.
And if this is a marriage and the adult child says to his parent, "Mom, Dad, I hear you. I know you need, I can't right now because my spouse, I got to do whatever." Mom and Dad, you can't get mad at that.
Well, they can, but it's gonna be all right.
But see,
I
what
mean,
needs
well,
to
you
happen,
can, but
you need to
You're
go
right.
back.
They can, but it's gonna be all
Go
right.
back. go back to the window of, first of all, is a level of maturity that you need to have before you even involve yourself in this type of relationship.
Definitely.
Once you know that you have that level of maturity, you need to get the counseling, okay? And you need to fulfill all the prerequisites before you say I do. Yes. And then at that point, right where you're getting counseling, you need to set up those boundaries. This is what we're going to allow, and this is what we're not.
And stay plugged in. We tell couples that all the time, stay plugged in. And when I say plugged in, it's important that you surround yourself or your marriage with other couples who want their marriage, right? Who are doing the same thing you're doing, setting up boundaries, having healthy marriages, spending time together. Because if you're not doing that, then it's easy to get caught up in all that other stuff. So you got to. I know a lot of people say don't share your business with other people, don't tell other folks about your marriages and other. Listen, you have to know who you can trust and who you can lean on and who you can't.
And you need somebody who can help you with a tune-up, because some of those things will get laxed.
Yes,
you'll get comfortable, and one time you're gonna say yes, and one time and then you'll find yourself you lost it. So you gotta have somebody that's gonna be able to reel you back. Hey, you're reeling in boundaries. Put it back in place.
Dr. Nancy, do you and your husband provide premarital counseling?
We do. Yep.
You do.
Pre and post.
Okay, I want to put this back on the screen then. Bring back the counselors where they tell you you're not ready. Let's try it again. It taught us accountability to one another before marriage. Do you recall a time where you and your husband were doing premarital counseling and you saw that this couple was not ready?
I remember a time we was doing counseling and we saw that they were married and we thought that y'all shouldn't have been married. So
okay, that's a whole nother thing. All right, well,
so when you see a couple and you feel like, well, y'all not ready, what is the next step?
At that point, our goal our challenge is to get them both to see themselves. It's not necessarily a couple. At that point, it's not so much as a couple counseling. We encourage it because you can never tell people really what to do, right? People gonna do what they want to do, right? And if we're telling them don't get married, 9 times out of 10, they're not gonna really listen to us. They're gonna want to get married anyway because they set their mind on the fact that they were asked and they didn't got a venue and they didn't got a dress or they have whatever. So they're gonna do it. But our goal is when we see that there are a lot of red flags on the play, our goal is now to separate the two of them and say, okay, let's deal with you, and to bring them to an awareness where they begin to say, you know what? This might not be a good idea, or maybe we need to postpone this a little longer, or I need to do a little work on me, or you need to do a little work on you, or maybe you're not ready and I am ready, but you're not really ready. Hence an AD and Clay situation. So where AD is like, you know what, I'm ready, but it's really him. And let me not throw Clay under the bus, because a shout out to him, although it was a show and he had to wait till he got to the altar, but he was able to recognize that he wasn't ready and that he wasn't going to be the one, that could dot those I's and cross those T's for AD, or he wasn't sure. He wasn't sure of himself in those areas. Yeah. And if you're not sure, I would much rather you step back than you step up.
Please tell me in the hotel though. Don't.
But again, for sake of TV, because I said the same thing to Pastor Will. I was so mad because I felt the same thing. But for the sake of that show, look what Jimmy and Chelsea did. Jimmy told her at the picnic table.
He pulled up
horrible too.
But it wasn't nobody around them. They was by themselves.
That's true. It was just them. That's true. I want to say good evening to Pastor Greg Huggins.
Hey, Huggins.
Hello.
I think the show probably let them do that though. They had to make it
probably so.
Yeah. They had to get somebody to alter that was gonna say no, because everybody else had fell apart.
Yeah, but yeah, that
Pastor Greg, tell Lady Kamisha we said hello and we love her.
Hey, Lady Kamisha.
I think that's those are good points.
And you know what? Even with what we were just saying, Willie, I think Pastor Will, I think that all pastors, men and women of God, counselors, whoever it is, if you're premarital counseling and you notice that there are multiple red flags, even maybe one huge red flag, you have a responsibility at that point to give correct guidance, not just to, and hope that the words that you use, the tools that you put in place, that they'll see it for themselves and then they'll be able to make the decisions. And that's the best that you can do, but you have to be honest with them, and move forward that way.
I want to talk about this for a second before we move on, because I'm going to also give you a few ideas or a few ways to stop folks from getting in your business. All right. Competition. Let's chat about that for a second because
Uh,
you, as a married person, should not feel like you are in competition with your spouse's family member, whether it
right.
be parent or sibling or whatever. Um, and it's like I don't know. It again, this is another recipe for disaster. But I believe that these are red flags that possibly have been ignored
Yeah.
or just because I think that when you have situations like this, I think that this was noticed pre-marriage and it was swept under the rug or something, right? So how do
Most
you
of them.
deal with that when I mean, because like it's they're gonna deny it.
Of
I ain't in
course.
competition with them. I ain't in competition,
Of course.
but
Of course.
and then that puts you in the middle, and now you
Hmm.
like, you know, I don't know. Talk about it.
Crystal, you want
Huh?
it?
I
Y'all
think
are so
that
funny.
I think that when it comes to competition, and we're talking about probably 9 times out of 10, the mother-in-law and the daughter-in-law is where that competition lies. Because I have rarely ever seen a father and a son-in-law in competition over the daughter,
Yeah,
right?
I kind of
So
agree with
sometimes it's not right in your face. Sometimes it's underlined. It's
Hmm.
little things. Oh, is that
Hmm.
how you wore your hair? It's little things. And
Hmm.
sometimes you pay attention, but you don't pay attention. But then once it's brought to your attention and you know it, it's his responsibility to tell his mother this is not a competition.
Hmm.
Because
Hmm.
you don't want it to be the daughter-in-law and the mother-in-law having a conversation.
Hmm.
That's not what you want. You want to be
Hmm.
able to nip it in the bud. This is my wife. I need you to respect her because at this point, it's you and her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all backs is together. Your mother is at home with her husband, causing confusion.
you. Yeah,
So this is not a competition. You've
And it
already
can be
made.
any kind of competition. Even while Crystal was talking just then, Coach Crystal, I thought about Mia Culpa. Remember at the
But I
very
oh
haven't seen it.
Lord.
I haven't seen it.
you haven't
Oh,
seen
you
it?
have it.
Oh.
Oh, treat yourself, man.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to say this part just
You can
because.
go ahead.
But
You can go ahead.
remember, Pastor Will, you saw it, right?
I saw it.
At the very beginning, the mom brought
Uh-huh.
back the old flame, remember, and the competition was
Oh
trying to
Yep,
yeah.
occur between the old
yep.
flame and the current one. So and he, the son and or husband, if you will, said nothing.
Well, nothing. Uh-huh.
Not a
They
word.
do
So
that right now.
it's gotta happen from the two people that are married. The boundaries, the buffers, the parameters are put up right here with the two that are married.
And
Uh-huh.
If that's
Uh-huh.
not gonna go
that
on, you gotta stop it.
You gotta stop it. Well, she's just a friend.
you
Her and her
have to
mama,
put
they
a
just
stop to it.
Period.
and you and her and your mother can actually do things on their own. They don't have to
Mm-hmm.
be here with me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If your mother invites your ex to an event,
It's gonna be a problem.
that's trouble. There's been some talking
It's
going
gonna be a
on, and chances are she don't like you. Your mama don't like you. she
problem.
she think she think her child could do better.
No,
So
she
I'm
thinks
gonna
her
invite
child
the
can do
one the ex
this.
that I like.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, those facts.
That's
There's
Absolutely.
got to
right.
be some understandings
Um.
there. And even if, because
So
there are
what
some
is this?
families who still have relationships with previous people,
Yeah.
but there has got to be some understanding there. And husband or wife have got to, put their foot down. Okay, well, this isn't going to happen. All right, well, if they come,
Then we're
then
not coming.
this is how we're going to be. And then we're going to go, or they have to go, or something. It's got to be some boundaries and parameters in place, understood, first of all, by the husband and wife. And then once they stand on those, not bending and compromising, not waving, then everybody else around will do the same thing.
Yeah. But that spouse been playing for a long time. Because your mom was doing this before me and you got together.
Baby, it was show happening
You
on
could
me.
have stopped this a long time ago.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Yeah.
I agree.
Hey,
Hey, Aisha,
Hey, Aisha.
so tonight
So, so
Natalie says sometimes when what we see is a
competition.
competition with mothers and daughters actually could be a learning moment because they may be teaching you something that you need or desire in your own marriage, but instead you feel like you can't learn from your children. We make it a competition and end up even more in a disaster than we started. Oh, wow. If you invite my
That's a whole
ex to
nother
a
level.
family event, we got a problem.
we
Whether
got a
I'm
problem.
single or not.
To that, even if it is
First
that
of all,
situation, you need to learn how to use your words.
See, I think that in that area, there are layers to that. I think that especially if there, let's just say that there are children involved. So, you can't necessarily say, for example, when my children graduated from school,
Mhm.
My ex-husband showed up and he knew I was with Martise, and Martise knew I was with Martise. So we didn't have any problems because everybody knew
I'm
their
just
place.
glad Martise knew you was with
I'm glad he
Martise. That's
knew,
important.
because that would really be a problem if he didn't know.
That was, that was
It'd be something else.
oh my God.
But you know what I'm saying? Like
But
there are times when those moments, birthday parties, right? Because the mom or dad, depending upon who has custody of the children,
I
they
don't know.
well,
I think that's a different
I
scenario,
don't know.
though. I mean, yeah, if they the parent, they coming,
they're
right?
coming.
If it's something specifically for the child,
That's what I'm
yes.
saying. You're
That's what
right.
you're talking about. Yeah.
You're right. That's what I'm talking about.
But outside of that, if I divorce her, you divorce her too. Y'all don't got
And
no
guess
business
what
talking.
drives
Don't
that
talk to my
car?
ex.
Guess what drives that car? I drive that car. You know what I'm saying? I drive. If we're all going to be in the same area,
Yeah.
I drive that car. I have the responsibility to make sure that he stays at bay,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
then that he understands that we're together. I'm with you. Ain't nothing happening over here. So I'm driving that car. And a lot of times the person, they're not driving the car. They're just like, well, whatever, not paying
They're a
attention to nobody.
passenger. They're a passenger, and they done gave you the key.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I agree. So now we have discovered. Well, before I do that, let's do this. My child can come with me. His daddy don't need to be there. He's there for his child's event, like birthday, graduation. Then that's different. I'm talking family, right? Family reunions and all that kind of stuff. Don't call that ex because the ex.
I'm gonna
Why is
tell
the
you
ex
something.
there?
If you got an old school family,
Everybody's
9
invited.
10 out of 10, that ex is
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Because you know what? Let me tell you about me. If it ain't got nothing to do with this child, if the ex is there, I'm not there. I don't want to be bothered. They're
But
ex for a reason.
again, y'all, come on now, because
you're taking it, you're making it bigger than what it should be.
Yeah, that's what I'm
now
saying.
you're giving them control.
I can tell my truth.
Listen,
and that's
but
how. Especially if it was a horrible relationship, a bad
that's what I
breakup.
was going to say.
Why they still around?
It depends on the type of
Depends on
relationship.
yeah.
Because if it was a horrible relationship, again, if it was abusive, like we were talking about before,
that's something different.
That's different.
Yeah.
But if the relationship, like honestly, my first husband and I, we divorced amicably. We don't hate each other. We are still friends. Crystal can vouch for that.
Yeah.
And so, my mother still talks to him, and he goes and sees my mom,
and guess what? We're gonna be at events together. We went to the same high school.
Yeah.
So when they have things, he's gonna be
when
there.
Proviso East has their reunions, we're there.
Yeah.
We see each other a few years ago. And so, again, but I guess it just depends on the type of relationship that it was. Our relationship wasn't violent. So
I can agree with that. And we've been discussing reasons. We've been discussing how family members, not just parents, but family members, period, reasons that they interfere with your marriage. And now I want to give you 5 ways to deal with it.
All right.
Number 1, we said it earlier, set boundaries. And not just set them, but stick to them.
Yep, that's definitely number 1. Definitely.
They're not for the other individual. They're for you.
Definitely.
Say it.
They are for you.
They are. Yep. Stay it. That's number 1. If you don't do that and you don't stick to them, that is just that's disaster right there. Like that's
Yeah,
just total
Yeah.
destruction. that, ugh, that's
absolutely.
yeah, that's number
Yeah.
one.
Deborah said I had to pull my mother-in-law to the side and let her know that I would not tolerate any disrespect from her. Before I finish this comment, let me let y'all know that I know Deborah personally. We are very good friends, and I could actually hear this in her voice. I wish I could read this in her voice because I can almost tell you how this conversation went, and it wasn't nice. But Deb, she had to pull her to the side and tell her, "I'm not gonna take no disrespect from you. I respect her, and there's no need for any issues to exist between us. We can live together respectfully and lovingly. I know the drama you're trying to create, but it's not necessary. And once we have that talk, no more issues. That's a boundary that you
Yeah.
set.
And
Well,
it's good. Now, here, let me point this out as well. It's good that she was able to have that talk with her mother-in-law, and her mother-in-law was able to receive it. However,
Look at this. Look, it's 8 o'clock.
good night.
oh,
Good night,
look at
Mama. We love
mama.
you.
Good night, mama. However, again, that's a conversation that should have really been handled and taken care of by the son, because we don't know what kind of friction could have happened over here that the son later would have had to necessarily deal with. Now, I'm not coming for Deborah, so please don't feel that way. I'm saying I'm glad that you all were able to have that conversation, and mom was able to, to take it, and you all were able to move forward peaceably. But there are times when even that mother would have been like, well, who do you think you're talking to? You can't come and saying nothing to me. What you mean you ain't gonna talk? And then now the son, now the mama going to the son saying, can you believe your wife came and I'm not gonna have? So that's why. Okay, see, Deborah said he was there. So there you go.
He was
He
there,
he
yeah.
drove the car. He drove the car.
And Aisha on something else. Aisha said he can't. The ex don't get a plate at the barbecue. You better not let him in the family pictures. Aisha, woo! If I say he's welcome, then okay. But ask me first. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. So the first way to deal with your family sticking their nose in your business is set boundaries and stick to them. Secondly, and this is a good one, don't always defend your parents'
Amen.
behavior.
Correct.
Because they can be wrong. That's right.
Yeah, they can
They
be wrong.
can be wrong.
They can be wrong.
Just
Yeah.
because they're your parents don't mean that they are always right.
And
But
remember,
you
your
have
first
to
obligation is to your spouse.
to your spouse,
Yeah.
not to anyone else.
Yes.
Don't always defend their behavior, but be more understanding of how their behavior might have affected your spouse.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Because whether verbal or nonverbal, your spouse is going to respond to your parents' behavior.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely. Definitely. Yep.
Listen to what I just said. Y'all watching, y'all still with me? Whether verbal
Or
or
nonverbal.
nonverbal,
Mm-hmm.
your spouse is
Is
going
going to
to
respond.
respond to your parents' behavior. I
And then
want you to think
again,
about
I'm
that.
going to say, and then in the days ahead, that's another fire that you
You got to put out.
spouses are going to have to deal with and or put out, because now not only is there confusion between the spouse and the parent, but now there's confusion in the home as well. So
Absolutely.
that's a good number
Absolutely.
two.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So don't always defend their behavior. And then this is all these are so good. And some of them are just really, really common sense and practical. Be an adult and tell them to mind their business. Take a step back. Back to number one, boundaries.
Boundaries.
Hey,
Yep.
but you don't have to be disrespectful with it though.
Not
You
at
know what I'm saying?
all.
Like,
Absolutely
hey, mom
not.
and dad, I love you, sister, brother, best friend, whatever. I love you. And I know you have my best interest at heart, but this is not just my boyfriend or my girl. I got the
Right.
ring. So
I
kind of
got
just
it.
chill. I got this. And if I need you, I promise I'll reach out.
Mm-hmm.
But until then, kind of just step back. Let me
Chill
deal
out.
with it. Right?
Yep.
It's a way to do everything. You don't have to be disrespectful to tell somebody to get out of your business. It's a way to do it. All right. Daphne says, I'm dealing
Yes.
with that now. With my mom being wrong, I'm being told to overlook what she's doing. Well, I don't know what the situation is. You have to weigh that. Um, I can't speak to that because I don't know what that situation is. Hey, Carla, glad that you are with us tonight. Tammy says, because we both grown. Once you get
Yeah, block
disrespectful,
Tammy,
your old
please.
age
Who you want to
doesn't
touch?
matter. We both about to get disrespectful. Tammy, I'm not mad at that either.
Tammy want to touch it. Tammy always want
I'm
to
not
touch
mad
it.
at that.
We're not clapping at that.
Did you
Tammy
clap
wants to
at
touch it.
that?
I'm
No, you're
with
giving
Tammy
me
on that one.
more work. No,
You're not going to disrespect that parent.
no,
Woo!
no.
Yes, indeed. Aisha said, and for some reason, folk don't like boundaries. And you know why they don't like boundaries? Because they feel entitled.
Mm-hmm.
People
That's
do
why we
not want to
talked
be
about that
held
early in the
accountable for
show.
Or
their
they're so used to
actions.
doing it, they're so used
Yeah.
to doing it and it being accepted and no one stopping them.
Yeah,
Again, that's why you have to be
yeah,
mindful of who's
Yep.
in your life and be able to because Crystal will pull me on the rug and Tammy will too. We'll pull each other on the carpet and like, okay, enough already now, stop. All right, well, don't do that. Okay, well,
yeah.
so even when it comes down to our parents, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We do that
Yeah.
with them as well. Well, Nancy, now you need to go back and get that right, or Nancy, leave her alone, or don't do it. So we do it with each other all the time. So you gotta be mindful of it. And yes, it's okay to tell your parents to take a step back, but you have to do it the right way and be respectful.
The
And
right
that's
way.
both in-laws and your own.
Now,
And
the
your
in-law
own.
might get a little bit more fire. The context of the conversation might change.
Just a little bit.
But I'm not going
Just a little
to.
bit.
I'm not going
But
to be
but you got to keep
disrespectful.
in mind though, because technically we have to remember. If we're gonna use the word and if we're gonna stand on the word, here we go. The Bible says the two become one, right?
Right?
So if
Right.
if I'm going off on my husband's parents, guess what I'm doing?
Ooh,
Going off on your husband's
going off
parents.
on him.
No, I'm going off on my parents.
No, she going off on her parents.
Yeah, because that's really what it is. That's really what it is. And when we start thinking like that, then we'll respond
That's good though.
differently.
That's good.
So there's a way to tell them to step back. If the two are one, and that's where so many people miss it, is we don't see the two becoming one. We still see each other and we make it. That's why I don't like in-laws. I never call, and Willie, Pastor Will, I
I
don't
know it.
call Mama Aura my mother-in-law. I always say she's my mom. If we start putting and I'm not coming against anybody that says in-laws or in-loves and all that other stuff, cute. Everybody has to do what they have to do for themselves. My ultimate point is keep in mind that the two of you all are one. And the same way you speak to his mom should be the same way you would speak to your mom and vice versa. Now, that does not mean that his mom or her mom is going to respond like your mom or his mom. You know what I'm saying? So you may have to pray about it. You may have to choose different verbiage. And I'm not saying disrespectful verbiage either for anybody that want to be like, well, yeah, it's going to be a little bit more spicy. No, there's a way to say things to a person where they understand what you're saying.
You teach.
But in relation to that, the two that become one. Go ahead, Crystal. I'm sorry.
I said she teaches a little too much tonight.
That counselor came out. That marriage counselor came out. But on that, the two that become one, they too have to remember that they are one.
They do. Exactly. They do. Most definitely.
So you can't go, my mama said, oh no. Y'all won.
We are one. Yeah, and again, this comes back. It all goes back to, again, good counseling and staying plugged in. Like I said before, you got to have good counseling. And counseling like that is going to, what did Tammy say?
He said,
y'all pray for Tammy. Pray for Tammy.
See, that's what I just told you. I tell you a little while ago.
All right.
Oh, Carla.
Dr. Nancy Carla says she is on your side. She hit a counselor. Here's the counselor. So yes, indeed. Number 3. Well, let me go back. Take this off of here. Number 3, to get them out your business. Be an adult. Tell them to take a step back. Number 4. and this we hit this a little while ago. Your partner
That's right.
should be your go-to and not your parent.
There you go. There you go.
So I hope y'all chose
That
correctly.
don't need no explanation.
It does not.
Nope.
Yeah. The two become one. Your
So a lot of
parent is
times,
no
even
longer
on
your primary.
when we're talking to married when we're talking to married people, we always say, "How are you one?" Not "How are you two?" Because we want to always remind you that you're one. So how are you one? Happy anniversary to we just say happy anniversary, but it's always one. Even when we have our marriage getaways, it's one cup, one plate. It's one. We feed each other. It's one.
What?
Wait, huh?
I'm not coming to that.
One plate. No. I need my own plate. Get your
I'm
own.
not-
No, because y'all, it's a marriage getaway for a reason with a purpose.
Tell me
It's
what the
two
idea of
bellies.
Tell me what the
It's-
teaching is with that.
It's two bellies.
Keep going.
Y'all go on this marriage
You
retreat.
can lead a
Make
horse
them
to the
give
water.
you
You can't
your
always
own
make them
plate.
drink.
Y'all, they're a little too in love. They're a little too in love.
Listen,
You can get another. The
that's what I'm
plate
talking about, Aisha. I need my own plate.
You can get another plate later, but the lesson is in being one, y'all.
Okay, but we
Stop
don't.
with the clapping.
I tell you what, we can you pick up your spoon the same time I pick up my spoon. We're gonna eat together.
But no, I'm not saying every day, y'all. This is just at the getaway on our one night when we go over the covenant, we go over our vows and all that stuff.
Okay.
Greg don't like to share his food.
Y'all, not all the time. Let me clear that up. This isn't all the time. This is just when we have our getaway, that one night that we go over the covenant, we go over the vows. It's all about oneness in that moment. Okay, relax.
Okay.
Somebody put the side eye emoji in the comments for me. Next is, and this is, they're all very important, but this one, and I think we kind of hit on it a bit throughout the talk tonight. Stop over sharing.
Yeah.
Yes, so true.
Because
Stop.
Charlotte, you like that? The clapping is hilarious. Here's what happens when you overshare, especially if it's something that your spouse has done that made you mad or that hurt you or whatever. If it's something that was not good for the marriage, when you overshare and you tell, oh, I'm furious with him or with her because they did this. They didn't come home at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Goes back
They
to what I
said
said
this,
earlier.
and I'm mad. And now the people you telling, your family is mad at them too. And guess what happened? You get, let me make up a word. You end up unmad, and y'all done went on about your lives, and the folks you overshared with, they still mad.
They still mad. And that's because they love you. They love you. Yes, they love y'all, but the connection is you. So you have to be careful. Yeah.
Then who would you vent to? Because you got to have some type of outlet.
But that's why you have to have a healthy.
You need an outlet.
You have to have a good outlet. Like if I've been to you, for example, Crystal, you're not when I'm over it. As far as Martise and I, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna kick me out the way. We can be like, what up?
Yeah, I probably wasn't never mad at the man. So
listen,
I'd have probably told you. I think you're doing a little too much.
So, that's why you have to be mindful of who you're venting to. Your parents, your siblings, most times, those aren't the right people always, because you might be saying you ready to get them.
They're not.
And they're not gonna be, you know what I'm saying? Like when you in love with them again, they're gonna still want to get them.
They're gonna still be mad.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because at the end of the day, I know y'all married. I know two have become one, but that's still your family.
Exactly.
That's still your blood.
Period.
And they gonna have your back before they will have your spouse's
at all
back.
times. And guess
telling
what? They didn't take the vows. They didn't take the vows and said the two become one. You all took those vows. So they don't see that.
Woo.
Right.
They don't always see that. When somebody mad, all they see is two said, that's my daughter, that's my son, that's my cousin. They that's what they going on that way. Yes. So you have to remember that.
And yes, Daphne, you absolutely do vent to God, but dear heart, you need a
You need a
person
mouth.
in
I
human
need a
flesh
sounding board.
to
I
talk
need
Yes,
to.
somebody who's gonna
You need
talk
yes,
back to
somebody
me.
with some ears.
Yes,
You
brother.
don't get out my
Yes.
screen.
exactly. He just had to slide on in here.
Yes. Yes.
He finds his way in this live every week. You don't love my sister like that.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
So, but yes, you
Hey,
need a
brother.
real live person to talk to. I said it was a cute song, Coach Crystal. That woman that cried all the time made that song. Vicky Wine. Long as I got King Jesus, I don't need
Yeah,
nobody else.
That's
That's a
a whole
lie.
lie. That's a lie.
because you do
You
need a
need
couple of other
You
somebody to
need
influences.
talk
somebody else.
to.
That's right. Yeah.
And you need
Yeah.
somebody who gonna say, "All right, Martise, I hear you. I know
Get
she done
yourself
made you
together.
mad. She done did this, that, and the other. She ain't cooked
No,
today."
Pastor Will, you gonna say my sister did not do that. She's absolutely amazing.
Nancy, we're not saying that. We're
I'm gonna
definitely going
say,
to hear him out.
I hear you, and it's gonna get better. Maybe she was tired today, whatever. But going on home.
She was having a moment. It'll be all
But
right.
see, that's another that's a problem that we have now. We
Yeah.
get people to talk about their business, and we petting them and we coddling them.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that's a part of marriage. She gonna make you mad sometime. You gonna make her mad sometime. Going on home, bro. Y'all
Going
talk
on
about
home.
it
If she
tomorrow.
hit you, now if
Yeah.
she hit you, that's
Huh?
something else. Going on home.
That's a whole other thing. But
Yeah.
listen, Tammy said talking about the other folks
They're gonna
that
be
you
mad
tell,
forever.
they're gonna be mad forever. I tell my brothers, please don't tell me about y'all wives because I will still be mad when I tell Crystal and Nancy when I want to knock Marco out. they they won't view him different. Don't
We
And
definitely
trust me,
don't.
she, as
and
far as I'm
Definitely.
concerned, he does no wrong, and she already knows that. It's
First
always
of all,
her.
best
Marco
friend,
is a gentle
Marco is
giant.
good. You see how
Marco
much
is
you
good.
see how
Okay,
much
it's
weight he
always
lifted?
Tammy.
Girl, Tammy has not got a chance.
Period.
But
He all
wait,
right.
he only good because he lost weight.
No, he lifts
No.
well. He's a strong
I ain't
individual.
listening to Crystal. She said Marco good because he lost weight.
No, I said
He got
Whatever.
the
muscles.
weight
He's
that
been
he
working out.
lifts.
Yeah.
I ain't thinking about Tammy.
Yeah, my
Charlotte
person is
said, "Yeah,
unbiased.
my person is
That's right.
unbiased. That's what you need.
That's
Somebody
right.
that
You
is
gotta have.
unbiased.
Yes.
They
That's
tell
right.
me when I'm wrong and when I need to get myself together. That's what
Yeah.
you need.
That's what you need.
That's what you need.
Yes.
All right. Whoa. Wait. Question: should the married vent to their single friends?
I'm single.
But for me, here's the question. Has that single friend been married? Like, do they understand marriage? So for
I
me,
have.
my best friend
Crystal's been
has
married.
been married,
Yeah.
right? So if I'm talking to her, I know that she understands marriage. And so I know too as well that she's not going to send me, all over the world
No.
or off or nothing like that. Now, if you have single friends who have not been married before, who don't understand marriage,
That's a
to
little different.
me, and this is my personal opinion, I say no.
I
It's a little
agree.
different.
We got
It's a little
another
different.
question. Why do female friends always take up for the men?
We know our female friend. That's why. Because we know our friend.
Right. I can't take up for all the men. I take up for the men that are
Not all of them.
look, Crystal, that are my men.
Right. Not all of them.
Right.
So if Dr. Nancy, you're saying if you have single friends who have never been married, you should not vent to them
No,
about
they
your
shouldn't even
marriage.
touch it.
They can't
A
relate.
I
married
agree.
person shouldn't go to them, and a
I
single
agree.
person should not even touch it because they don't even have a license. They don't, and when I say license, I don't mean a license like
Right.
marriage license or driver. They don't have a
Yeah.
license or space to even put their ideas, their thoughts, their
Yeah.
opinions on marriage.
Nor do they have knowledge of it or the right. to
Not at
speak.
all.
Their
Not at
thought
all.
process on working it out is a
It's-
little bit different
way
than
different.
a married's
Yes.
thought process.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
a single person, I could leave.
Mhm.
That's not the advice you want to give your married friend.
Listen. Period.
Oh,
Right.
man, I just let me say this too. Here's another reason, male or female. Here's another reason why you may not want to vent to your single friend. Let me talk to the lady.
Talk.
If you're married woman, if you are married and it's okay to have single friends. There's nothing wrong with that.
Correct.
Just know what category to put them in.
Correct.
But be very, very careful about venting. First of all, don't do it. If they have never been married, they have no knowledge of it, do not vent
do it
to that single friend.
That's
especially, watch this, especially if it's about something that he is not doing.
Correct.
Or that he wants you to do that you won't do. Because guess what? Some of them will do what you won't do.
Come on.
Clean up woman.
Yeah.
Here we go. The clean up woman. Standing in your backyard.
You gotta be careful about talking about what you won't do for your spouse because somebody else waiting in the wings to do it.
Yeah. True.
So you gotta get with like-minded people who have experience, who have knowledge, who know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And who can help guide you through that. See, especially if you ain't got discernment, you don't have a spirit of discernment. You better be careful who you talk to.
Yeah. And y'all, please don't post it on social media.
Do not post it.
Sick of that. We tell couples to get off of Facebook, get off of Instagram. Don't post your marital issues on. So you're gonna get all type of A's, B's, C's, and before you know it, your head is spinning. And guess what? They sitting back laughing at you anyway.
Anyway,
people on Facebook will they'll lie to you. Period. Folks on Facebook lying all the time. Lying. Girl, you cute. Oh, he fine. Yeah, and no, they lying all the while. They just said all that, and then they call somebody else and tell them, "Did you see such and such?" Stop it. Don't put your business.
First of all, I want y'all to stop telling these folks they cute and their outfits look good and they look a mess. Somebody need a friend to tell them, no, girl, don't never, ever, ever wear that no more. Because it looks horrible.
I'm going to mute your mic.
We're not talking about
I'm going to mute your mic.
We're not talking about
Look, here you go.
My Lord. I'm having fun with this thing tonight. Listen,
that's so true.
I want to say thank you, too. I want to say thank you to especially to Daphne Smith tonight. Daphne is a big supporter of the Self-Checkout Show and WTM. And this month we have been asking you guys on the show just to give us a gift of $7 to this ministry. And she has done that faithfully. And we want to say we appreciate you. And those of you that do, we do thank you so much for sowing into this ministry. Facebook is the world's greatest amusement park where you can be whatever you want to be, do whatever you want to do, and not be held accountable for it.
So true.
That's so true. I really want you. I was being silly, but I was serious at the same time. Be very careful and selective about who you vent to. And if you are married, you should probably try to have some married friends who know your struggles, who know what you're going through. And it pays to have someone possibly even a little older who has more wisdom, who can see a bit further than you can, and a pastor.
Most definitely.
That you can trust, or that you can trust. And say, hey, pastor, look, I need to talk to you about something because X, Y, and Z. Who you know will give you good,
sound
godly
advice.
Wisdom, sound advice, because that's what you need, sound advice. You don't need petting. You don't need coddling. You don't need, girl, I understand. You need some sound advice, because the truth of the matter is, one reason, it's several reasons, but if you're complaining about, well, he acting this way, she acting this way, I would ask, what did you do or say to make them act that way?
And that's a lot of reasons why, Pastor, we don't need our parents involved. That's a lot of reasons why we don't need our parents involved, you know. And I really want to just kind of hone in on that a bit. We have to be mindful. Again, you may have the best parents in the world, and yes, your parents may give you good advice. So let's just talk about the parents who may give great advice. Again, we don't want our parents involved in our relationships, because at the end of the day, our parents see their child. They love their child. And so, you don't want your parents involved because the advice sometimes can be a bit biased, although maybe they don't intend to be biased. And you need to really get counsel where the person, again, like you said, is a pastor, they're godly, they're going to give you sound advice, and they're going to give you all the tools that you need to stay in that marriage as best as possible.
Yeah, but I think you need somebody that, as they say, that don't have a dog in the fight.
They don't have a dog in the fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what?
We get ready to go.
This just kind of depends, because I done had a dog in a few fights, and we done counseled a few of those dogs where they're not had in the fight.
Well, but everybody is not unbiased like that, though.
That's true. That's true too. That's true.
Hey, Denise, so glad to have you with us. Of course, Natalie said when I met Dr. Nancy, what made me fall in love with her is because I could trust her with things. She said to me when I first met her, I did not lie, did not want to hear, and definitely did not agree with or try to obtain. But that was the kind of woman of God that I needed in my life. That when you can trust someone who's not going to tickle your ear, that's why I don't call her now.
That's a shame. That's a shame.
So you just want to be careful about that. And guys and ladies, it's important. It's very, very, very important that you have people in your life.
Yeah.
Obviously that you love and that love you, but that's going to tell you the truth.
Period.
About you.
Period.
Okay?
You're gonna get mad sometimes, but you're gonna go right back.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Period.
It's important to have that. And sometimes, let's be honest, sometimes the truth about you will make you mad.
Yeah, it will.
But it shouldn't be a mad that I ain't talking to her no more. I ain't talking to him no more. It should be a mad that makes you reflect on yourself. Right? Let me take a look at this. I'm mad, but she might be right. You might be right.
And you may say, I'm not going to talk to you no more. But when you get home and you get in that quiet and you start replaying it again,
or you see it,
you're gonna
opportunity will present itself where you can.
It will, definitely.
Self-checkout.
Self-checkout.
All right?
Yep.
Where we take an honest look at what's in our hearts, minds, and spirits. And that's what we have to do sometimes, even regarding our relationships. Because whether anybody else will tell you this or not, sometimes it's not their fault.
It's not.
It's true. Sometimes it's your fault.
Sometimes it's your fault.
What did you do? And how did you respond? Yeah.
What did you do? What did you say? These are questions that we need to ask ourselves in relationship when our other part has done or said something that's out of character, out of the ordinary. Did I do something? Did I say something to make him say that to me?
Yeah, right.
Did I do or say something? You have to come on. Let's not.
And ladies, y'all know we have special moments. Y'all know we have special moments every month. So when we have those special moments, then we have to be mindful of ourselves, because
that's not an excuse, ma'am.
But it's not an excuse. But sometimes it does kind of, it kind of
plays a role. It plays a role. But again, that's one of your boundaries. Hey. Month.
Right.
Look at this one. Look at this one right here. Hey, you guys, I love you all so very much. Tammy is closing us down tonight. She said, in conclusion,
I told you,
don't take no mess. Ow! Don't take no mess from your in-laws.
Nancy,
that used to be your baby, but now he's mine.
You got a space for her.
Listen,
we need one-on-one.
Tammy is all right with me. You get my vote, Tammy.
She's a hard work, man. I'm fasting and praying with that one.
You get my vote. Hey, listen, everybody, if you can, share a $7 gift with the ministry tonight. The ways to do that are scrolling across your screen. And please don't forget, 2 weeks from tonight, we will be going into our Sharpening Our Sword classes, Back to Basics. I've been posting a flyer for 3 months. You see it. You know all about it. We want you to take part in that or sponsor someone, even if it's just for one class. One class is $25. You can send that also to the ways to give there. In the comments, just say sponsor. And we will make sure that somebody gets in that class. We love you guys. This was fun tonight, and it was also
Was.
informative and eye-opening. We have one more part to this series. The first week we talked about sexual preference. Before
Mm-hmm.
we say I do, let's talk about sexual preferences. All right. And last week, what did we talk about last week? Last week was I forgot what
Was
the
it Money
topic
Matters?
last week was.
Money
Yeah,
Matters.
Money
money.
matters. Money matters. That was the second part. Tonight is the third part, family interference. And next week is I feel pressure. And
Mm.
we're gonna talk about a situation similar to Clay and AD from Love is Blind. I feel pressured to get married. My 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 peer pressure, the church is pressuring me, my family is pressuring me.
Lord.
I love them. I love her. I want to get married, but maybe not right now. But everybody is pressuring me, and I don't know what to do.
That's gonna be heavy.
And if all goes well, y'all, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try my best. If all goes well, we'll have a very special guest with us next Monday night. I'm going to try my best
Y'all, it's gonna be heavy.
to get somebody else in here with me. Wait. Martine said I would be the special. On that note, ladies and gentlemen,
Right,
thank
back
you
to
so
Tammy's
much.
comment. In conclusion,
Oh,
In conclusion, we
wait a
appreciate
minute
you all. Thank
now.
you all so much for tuning in to the Self Checkout Show. This is your favorite Christian talk show. We appreciate all of you guys. Thank you. Come back next week and tell somebody else about our show. Share it, tag somebody. It's not too late. I know we're going off the air, but you can at least share it and let somebody else hear what we're talking about. We're talking good stuff. This is the Self Checkout Show. We take an honest look at what's in our hearts, minds, and spirits. I'm Pastor Will. That's Dr. Nancy, and that's Coach Crystal. We will be back next Monday night to wrap this whole matter up. The series before we say I do. I feel pressure. Good night, everybody. We love you.
all right.
Good night.